Hi, this is Brook Reams at the Interop show in 2011 down at the Brocade booth. It's been an interesting couple of days. I came in on Monday, particularly because we had a whole day session on the private cloud, and I wanted to hear a lot of the input from customers as well as the vendors. And a couple of things are kind of evident out of that. I think first, there's a lot of curiosity about cloud architecture when you bring it to the data center. We had some great discussions on what the network is going to have to do, and we had some very interesting conversations, in particular on the storage story for private cloud computing. I found it fascinating on that topic that we did a poll, and it was about 95% of the room favoring fiber channel storage. There wasn't a lot of motion toward the FCOE for cloud. And I was kind of puzzled by that, but I think it has to do with the comfort level that's grown up with fiber channel. It's quite scalable, and I think people don't see a need to change what's working. That may be one of the underlying reasons for it. Today's keynotes were very interesting. We had an excellent presentation by Intel. I always like to listen to Intel because their silicon and their strategy really is a foundation for the transitions that are going to go on in computing and more importantly in storage and networking. So the speaker today really made a comment to the effect that Intel's focus is on increasing the total number of IP network connected devices to 15 billion by 2015. That's a mind-boggling number. To do it, they're investing very heavily in developing very innovative silicon for the storage industry, so you can expect some tremendous reductions in cost to be coming out of that. And the other area that they're targeting is networking and developing a family of silicon for that market, which is the one we're in. So it'll be very interesting to watch that take shape. The other part of the presentation this morning had to do with the open standards, open flow, open compute stacks, and the consortiums that are being created now from the customers to drive a more open network. And I thought that was very telling, because one of the key elements of our Brocade One strategy and our investments in open computing and open source is to enable that choice for customers. So it was interesting to see that brought up today on the main stage as well. Walking around the show floor, an enormous transition from Interop, as I used to attend it back in the late 80s, early 90s when it was still pretty young. It's an enormous number of vendors here today, a plethora of technology across all of the compute and storage as well as network stack. So it's been also very interesting in the interactions that we have in the hallways and over coffee with end users. And I had some very fascinating conversations last night on topics of interest to them. And in many cases, it has to do with how to best enable cloud as a new tool for them in meeting the challenges in IT. I found a couple of them thinking about cloud as really a very new capability that they can use to enhance sort of the R&D aspect of IT. As you know, IT is always under two strong forces, cutting cost and innovating for the business. It's been real expensive to invest in innovation if you have to buy all the computing and storage and networking gear, but with clouds, you can go rent that, do a short-term project, learn a great deal, and decide whether you want to incorporate that into your IT portfolio. And I think that's an area where many of the people who are responsible for running IT are starting to think about cloud as that tool for innovation. So, thanks, and appreciate the chance to chat with you here on camera. Maybe next year I'll get a chance to come out and we can compare my impressions in 2012 with 2011. See you later.